Good evening and welcome to your JMC weekly broadcast update. I'm Pat Trotter. Tennis fans awoke to some surprising news this week as four-time Grand Slam champion Maria Sharapova announced that she had failed a drug test at the Australian Open earlier this year. Sharapova received a letter from the anti-doping agency on Monday, notifying her that meldonium had been found in her system. After calling a press conference where many anticipated the 13-year veteran may announce her retirement, she told the world that she had been using the bad substance since 2006. However, meldonium, also known as mildronate, had only been added to the ADA's list of banned substances in January this year. Sharapova denies having any knowledge of meldonium being added to the ADA's lists of banned substances, as she was prescribed the drug by her family doctor. According to the National Institute of Health, the anti-ischemic drug meldonium demonstrates an increase in endurance performance of athletes. The International Tennis Federation said Sharapova would be provisionally suspended in effect from March 12th. While the Russian pro's future is uncertain, she told the Australian Broadcasting Corporation that she does not wish to retire on this note. Al Jazeera report states that a group of Houthi rebels have headed to Saudi Arabia this week to discuss plans for peace between the two warring countries. The visit, reported on Tuesday, is the first of its kind as the neighbouring countries have been at war since March of last year. While Saudi Arabia officials are yet to confirm, two senior officials from the Houthi administrative body said that Saudi authorities had extended an invitation following a week of secret preparatory talks. The Houthis' main spokesperson Mohammed Abdel Salam will head the delegation in Saudi Arabia. Salam, who represented the Houthis in Oman last year, successfully paved the way for UN-sponsored talks in Switzerland. Luciano Zakara, professor on Gulf Studies at Qatar University, told Al Jazeera that the Houthis agreeing to meet with Saudi authorities is surprising and could mean that the rebel group is losing ground and support in Yemen. According to residents in Yemen capital of Sana'a, the Saudi-led coalition launched a series of airstrikes as recent as last week. The Yemen crisis has resulted in 6,000 deaths, with roughly half of those being civilian casualties. Less than an hour after US Vice President Joe Biden had touched down in Israel, a man wielding a knife killed an American tourist and injured 12 others. The attack took place a short distance from where Biden was at the time in the ancient town of Jaffa, along a popular oceanfront boardwalk around Tel Aviv. The vice president was meeting with former Israeli President and Prime Minister Shimon Peres at the time of the stabbing. According to one eyewitness report, the attacker stabbed at least 4 people at the Jaffa port and 3 more as he moved north on the boardwalk before being shot and killed by police. The stabbing is among a spate of terrorist attacks that Israeli authorities have blamed on Palestinians, be they from the West Bank or elsewhere. Biden will also meet with Israeli President Reuven Rivlin in Jerusalem and Palestinian Authority President Mohammed Abbas in Ramallah throughout the week. In an interview with independent news source Truthout, Noam Chomsky discussed politics and his belief that the 2016 election puts the US at risk of what he called an utter disaster. Chomsky believes that the 2016 presidential candidates are avoiding the main global and domestic issues the world faces in the 21st century and accused both parties of focusing on problems that the American public have been conditioned to believe are getting worse. He told Truthout that the looming threat of nuclear war and global warming are being overshadowed by issues of homeland security and economic decline. However, America is most likely the richest country in the world with incomparable advantages in security. Additionally, the US military virtually matches the rest of the world combined and is technologically far more advanced than any collection of rivals. While Chomsky has concerns about the Democratic candidates, he was quoted saying it would be an utter disaster for the country, the world, and future generations if any of the viable Republican candidates were to reach the White House. The MIT professor believes that the Republican candidates' policies not only play to the paranoid culture of America, but thrive on the notion of neoliberal empowerment, which, in his view, only increases division between the rich and the poor and draws people's attention from environmental issues. Amongst other titles, Noam Chomsky is an American linguist, philosopher, and social critic who is the most quoted person alive today. 6 people, including a pregnant woman, have been shot dead in Wilkinsburg, Pennsylvania, after 2 gunmen opened fire at a backyard cookout late Wednesday night. The 2 suspects remain unidentified and are still at large. Police reports state that the attack was premeditated, as one gunman opened fire in the backyard while another waited across the street, shooting at anyone who tried to flee. 2 victims remain in critical condition and 1 woman was released after minor injuries. While police are unsure on the details of the shooting, they told CNN that the assailants escaped on foot and that drugs certainly played a role in the shooting. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives is offering $20,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction.